Hello, hello, hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Am I coming through all right? Just waiting on confirmation that I am, in fact. Look, you know what? Actually, yes, marvellous, marvellous, marvellous. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a most disco of Elysium streams. We are continuing the playthrough of the last game of our regular Friday streams, and we're not at the end yet, but we're cruising towards it. There are various things that are climaxing, coming to a head. I don't know which of them we'll get to this stream, but I'm excited. We're in the part of the game that I know slightly less well than the opening. So let us continue and see how we go. Oh, where are we? Oh yes, we were going back to town because or were we? Oh wait, hang on, the tent's gone. Well, while that's all getting set up, I am going to go because there is. The wind told me to talk to the. Actually, no, you know what? There's one other place I need to check. I haven't yet checked on the beach. On the. Oh, it's snowing. That's nice. These rusty gears used to turn the whole machine. The chain trails off into the ocean, to who knows where.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What is this thing, anyway?
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
Used to service what?
The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
Could this structure... Could this structure have been used to take the shot?
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
Door's shut tight. How can we get in there?
We don't get in there.
What do you mean? We get into, like, everywhere.
Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
No. We've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do. We open doors. We're cops. That's our perk. Even Everard knew that's a part of our MO.
Well, that's who I am. Who we are.
Yeah, I understand you. I like opening doors as much as the next guy. But this one is simply beyond repair and we don't have the resources needed to open it. Relax, no one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either, and thus they can't get in.
At least you can think about opening it, about doors in general. They are, after all, fundamental to your life. Perhaps something useful will come from this.
Damn it, it cannot be. Disgrace. That door on the coast. You remember the one, right? The one that leads to the abandoned service depot. Why, in the name of all that's holy, does it not open? Why? There has to be a way to get through that unopenable door. By gods, you're the police. All doors are supposed to open before you. What will the others at the precinct think if you can't open a goddamn door? There must be a way. This barrel has been recently discarded. It still smells of fuel oil. White polo shirt. +1 rhetoric. What's polo, anyway? -1 empathy. No, really, what the hell is polo? This shirt looks worn and smells a bit. You can't help but wonder, who would leave it stuffed in a tear container? What kind of man would even wear a polo shirt? This might be one of life's mysteries that will never be solved.
A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds, another one of Morel's traps, weighed down by stones to keep it in place. The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year. This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap.
Are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying it myself.
Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
The boardwalk rises to your south. It casts its long shadow over you. Cigarette butts cleaned away under a rock. Brand, Timoteri. You take a mental note. Timoteri seems important somehow. Someone's made a campfire here a long time ago. A rusted, broken control box for the radio relay tower. This ladder is too rusty to climb. The sea air has eaten it away. Tiny inlets there, off in the far distance, where the post trails towards. Scented scarf. +1 shivers. Springtime cold. -2 physical instrument. Allergies. This light springtime scarf smells like men's cologne mixed with cheap laundry detergent. Someone must have left it behind, probably from a date. Wear it if you want to delude yourself that spring has arrived. This relay tower coordinates boat traffic in the bay. Barely.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower. In the distance you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there, in the whirling in rags.
Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower, took the shot there.
It's not possible to climb that ladder, and even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
What about the cigarette butts?
Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joan? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. You didn't pay attention to any of the other cigarette butts on the coast.
Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator.
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps, but anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out Biddable Prime, was it?
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender.
Trying to get the bit where you investigate the boardwalk for bullet traces like you did at Land's End, but doesn't seem to be triggering.
There's some tear.
Weird. Maybe I'll come back later. Couple of Kofi's come in. Kofi from Harem. Hi Johnny, why is clock change? I don't have smart thoughts. My last brain cell effed off and will remain on leave until the fever meds work. Oh, sorry to hear you're under the auspices of a fever. But yeah, the clock hasn't quite changed for us yet, but it's coming, which is going to be a headache. And Kofi from Red Dead Zombie. Hi Johnny, good job with the pristine cut livestream. The video of the moist was hilarious. 10 out of 10, excellent job. Hope you've had a good week and cats are behaving and not committing too many crimes. Not too many crimes. Just, you know, a normal number of crimes, I'd say.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable. Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre?
No, this is not Pierre.
Do you have any news about Pierre?
Who is Pierre?
He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country.
Yes, I'm a salesman. What exactly did we do to your country?
You ruined it and you sold it to foreigners. You don't own anything if everything is for sale. Give it a thought. Goodbye.
Disconnect tone. Calling. Still calling. Someone with a masculine voice picks up.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity.
Is electricity there? I need to speak with electricity, please.
No, but I got a feeling I'll kick your ass is gonna make an appearance if you ever call this number again. Have a good one, asshole.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone. Calling. 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 Still calling. Still calling.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work.
You seem to be in some sort of trouble. Maybe I can help you. I'm a police officer.
The phone gets hanged up fast as lightning. All you hear is a little shuffle of nylon as the hand moves on the other end. Disconnect tone. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Has anything strange happened lately?
We had bad words and said, I got in trouble. Bad words. Bad words.
Bad words are bad. Don't say 'em, kids. It's the first step to a life of crime.
We won't. We learned.
Let's move on. Where did you hear the bad words? Was it from someone on the coast? The radio?
We just heard funny voices. We thought the voices were funny. We said what they said, and then we got in trouble.
Where did you hear them? Did you overhear someone say them? Was it on the radio?
Radio? What's that? We just heard them in our head.
Voices from another self? Voices from a deeper self? Voices from early schizophrenia?
What do you mean you heard them in your head?
You know, I heard people talking, except just in my head.
Okay. What did you hear?
It was like, it is time at last. My nasty speed reeks. Our brother man is about to grow up.
A memory stirs. You've heard this quickfire patter before.
DJ Flatchios, Big Boy Daviel single is here. Buckle up, cause this is the fastest track that you're ever gonna hear. Turn up the volume. Blow those speakers out. Now here's... No. Don't say bad words, stupid.
A word when you're done.
The boy draws a jagged rock across the ground. It leaves a white scratch.
Hi, kids. Take care.
Detective, about what the twins had to say. So, those voices they heard.
Yes, of course, earlier, when you turned the radio on in his kanema. Don't.
I can't explain how they heard it. I believe they heard something, and given the poverty of this part of town, I don't know how they could have heard the radio. However, weird as it is, the situation is not connected to the murder. This isn't our business.
It is related, Kim. The wind told me so.
The lieutenant says nothing. An ocean breeze blows in strong. He raises his jacket collar against it.
Besides, maybe it was just a radio they overheard. They might not be old enough to know the difference. How would they have heard the voices?
Didn't Ruby have advanced radio know-how?
The lieutenant shrugs.
Let's at least rule out radios before continuing. Maybe the twins didn't know it was a radio they were hearing. The washerwoman seems to know everything that happens here. Let's ask if she heard anything before moving on. After you.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Have you heard a radio on the coast in the last week or so?
A radio? Ah, no. We play no radio here. There's one in the shack, but it's never used.
Any idea how the twins could have heard Speed Freaks FM?
Was that the nonsense we were spouting? Huh.
Olden days were golden days. Life's luster is lost on those who speed.
No, I have no idea where they heard it. They've been in earshot all week, and no radio.
Are you sure you didn't hear any radio playing?
Viziers know every sound that belongs to this coast. I would know if I heard anything different.
We good, Kim?
Let's just get it out of the way as fast as we can. Contact dispatch from my kinema and ask them to connect you to the station. Maybe they can shed some light on this.
Must be exciting for you, Kim. Calling the station you're accidentally tuned into.
I'm ready when you are.
Anything else?
Goodbye. I'm off.
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologist. The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. You see slabs of concrete north. In the east, the city center hums to you. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done.
You getting tired?
No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
Ahead, decades of old concrete defences. Children play on them now. Tiny cages, carefully constructed.
This is the last of the traps. The one Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. The reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here. No locust. No phasmid either, but still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty trap.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked the trap up and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
Actually, I do get the feeling that someone or something may have messed with the trap.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not.
But what if it was the phasmid? What if it ate them and got out?
Right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologists to figure out now. We are not cryptozoologists. We are cops.
A cold gust of air dries your sweaty face, and you look to the dark shadow, the felled building in the distance, drawing you to it. What a strange sensation. Once this is done, should you try to ask again? hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. Bronze-colored ribbons of magnetic tape are caught in its branches, fluttering in the breeze.
Good hawthorn.
Patting the tree reveals a small sticker which has almost been worn to oblivion. It reads, RCM Emergencies Desk, number 8102, underneath a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant. The bronze ribbon twists around and within the branches in an intricately natural pattern. But there's something.
What do I see?
There's a twisted logic in this mess. You see the ends of the ribbon, the way it flows, how it twists and turns. It's all starting to make sense. It'll be easier to remove now. As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock anyone out with one punch. The white ceramic gloves wrap around your digits comfortably. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions.
I will be responsible with this. This is just to protect me from harm, not to show off.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and voluptuous, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability.
This is the long sought after enemy technology. I can't just enjoy it, I must study it.
Yes, you should analyze the armor. Figure out its vulnerabilities. Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material. The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. A wintry breeze with slow and deliberate motions, pulling, bending and unraveling, you manage to extricate the magnetic tape from the branches. It curls up into a mess inside your pocket. If only you could find a way to re-spool it, so that you could hear what's on the tape. Maybe Roy from the pawn shop can help you with this.
What's the tape for?
It's for Egghead. I promised to make his Van Eyck jam hit a bit harder. Maybe this tape can help.
How? It's broken and unspooled. Do you think your new buddy knows how to fix it?
I'd think that at least one of the ravers would know how to fix a broken tape if they want to set up a nightclub.
You could also get it fixed at the pawn shop across the street. We shouldn't waste our time.
Good idea. He might have the tools. The tape projector in the pawn shop uses similar tape. One more door. There is no way to open the supply depot door. Accept it. You cannot open all the doors. You have to integrate this into your character. Some doors will forever remain closed, even if every single other door will open at one time or another. Maybe to a key, or maybe to some sort of tool meant for opening doors. But this one will never accede to such commands. A realization crucial to personal growth. Crucial.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Hey, do you know how to fix this?
You mean re-spool it? Yeah, I do, but
Right. Can you do it, please? This is important. I need to be able to play this tape for someone.
I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker. If you want to pawn the tape, sure. Although it looks pretty worthless.
Just explain why you need this so much. He's bound to understand.
Worthless? It's not worthless, Roy. This could be the next big thing for the local dance music scene.
Huh? What do you mean?
Do you know the old church down the coast?
Yes. What about it?
I helped some young ravers turn this place into a nightclub, and they play these weird beats there, which they call anodic music.
Is it any good? The music, I mean.
No, that's the thing. You can't believe how unbelievably thin the beat is. There's nothing to it, no bass. It just goes zoop, 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 but this tape could make it hardcore.
Man, you're really invested in this. Okay, I'll help you out. It's going to take a moment, though, so just sit back and relax.
You take some time to look around the store. The play of visuals all around the pawn shop is mesmerizing. Suddenly, Roy turns back to you with a reel of tape in his hand and coughs.
Well, thanks for the help.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'll do what I can for true passion projects. Just try not to use this tape for negative photon emissions. Take responsibility, okay?
I have other business to take care of now. The bronze-coloured tape found in the branches of a hawthorn tree has been reconstructed into a usable reel of magnetic tape. It's pretty fragile and in an odd format which doesn't fit into any portable tape players. Nevertheless, Egghead will be stoked.
This Post Levantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front. A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant. You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
Good mail delivery box.
The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
Been there, Post Levantier mail collection box. Been there.
The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder, then you swallow, and then suddenly you see it. Over all the other graffitos, someone has, using the tip of a very sharp knife, cut the words, Revachol forever. The afternoon sun shimmers off the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage.
Wait, why am I even thinking about this? Wasn't I supposed to...
Do something important? Something murder-related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery. This is a Caprice Canema, the Caprice Motor Corps follow-up to their highly successful workhorse, Caprice 40. and the answer to the Lum's racing breed, Ferv series. With its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox, the Kanema is able to reach 100 kilometers per hour in 13.5 seconds, and go on to a top speed of 180 kilometers an hour.
Won't it roll over in the first sharp corner?
The high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin, feeding all the auxiliary systems and making the Kanema effectively a mobile power plant.
This tech talk is really rubbing me the right way here.
Due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police livery.
This machine really puts the loco back in locomotion. Very cool.
You want to take a closer look?
What's it packing in there?
130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
That's what, a 7-liter V12?
7.2. Supercharged.
Saying these words brings him immense joy.
What in there made the infernal whining sound that woke me up?
You mean the coil noise?
What is coil noise?
When variable current passes through wires that make up the coils on the electrical system on this machine, it causes vibration in the wires and the cores of the coils. When the frequency of the current in the coils falls within the audible range, the resulting vibration creates the whiny sound you mentioned.
Whatever you do, don't make fun of the lieutenant for explaining this to you.
That's exactly what I thought.
Of course.
A fine machine.
Yes. An extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare it up. Slam it down. Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Ever thought about switching to helium headlights?
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first.
If we ever get this case solved, maybe we can do it together.
Maybe. Yes, definitely maybe.
And means no.
Okay, let's move.
There it is again. That spectral smell haunting this industrial harbor. And it smells like heavy fuel oil mostly, because it's an industrial harbor. Years of turmoil, of hopes and dreams, ground beneath the inexorable tides of capital.
And kind of smell dreams being ground down by capital.
Undoubtedly. And the scent is coming from that railing over there.
You mean from Manana?
Yes, now's your chance to establish contact.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
That weasel I visited. Turns out he has one hell of a colonial mug collection.
Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole.
See how we're all busy concentrating on the racist mugs? That's what the ruling class wants.
Yeah, it would be really bad if we got into an argument about him. Waste of a good noon. Or afternoon. Or night. Anyway, thanks for helping out, friend.
Listen, brother. There's something important I want to talk to you about.
What's that, boy? Yeah?
Now's your chance. Remember, communists are notoriously skittish, so it's best to insinuate your way in.
It involves our mutual friend, crass.
Don't think I've ever met a Kras personally. Then again, I've never been to Grad.
I'm investigating a particular smell, one with revolutionary implications.
Could be coming from one of the jam lorries. Cargo's been sitting out for a while.
Okay, maybe it's time to abandon the subtle approach.
What I'm trying to say is I'm looking for communists, you know any?
Ah, now I see. Can't say I'm surprised. You seem to take your communism seriously. Not a bad thing, mind you. It's good for a man to take time to think about the whole socio-political world picture.
Oh, he certainly likes to take his time with things, especially when politics are at issue.
So you've given up copying and now you're hunting comunistas. Care to say why?
Honestly, I had a weird dream and now I need to get to the bottom of it.
Chasing a dream, huh? I have to respect that, Boya. I wish I could help. Unfortunately, I don't know many comunistas.
I know you said you're not really a communist, but aren't you actually a communist?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, I'm not institutional. A man's got to blaze his own trail, in my book.
Okay, so maybe he's not exactly a communist, but there's definitely some communistic residue about him.
Ah, but you know, I did meet a genuine ideologo a few months ago. Perhaps he's your guy.
Did he say his name was Staban by any chance?
Didn't say anything about his name. Wasn't this sort of encounter where names matter?
What's an ideologo?
You know, a guy with a theory. Someone who likes to pit his theory against other theories in deadly theory combat.
How did you meet him?
It was late one night as I was leaving the arbor. He was waiting on the corner in a bright white jacket, classic Saramiritian style. He asked me for a light. We shared cigarettes. Then he asked me if I ever thought about getting into some of the extra physical branches of communism.
An extremely cool way to establish contact. Wish I'd thought of that.
It was alright. A little like something out of a Vespertine spy novel, but I must respect the effort.
Okay, how do I find this guy?
I couldn't tell you. Once I declined his offer, we finished our cigarettes and he disappeared back into the night. Just before he melted into the shadows, he turned to me and said, "Remember Dobrava and Abadanais." And then he was gone.
Who are Dobravar and Abadanais?
I don't know. Guess not everyone remembers.
What do you think it means?
Been wondering about that myself. Some comunista inside talk could be. Not meant for the wider public. They love that kind of thing. You'd have to ask someone who knows this ideologo personally.
Not to interfere in your personal errand, but it might have something to do with that passphrase Cindy mentioned earlier.
Oh, right. Good thinking, Kim.
The lieutenant nods.
Just in time. The faithful partner arrives with the key that turns the lock. You two make a good pair. I salute you, boyas, and wish you good fortune on this grand ideological quest.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Good talking to you. Gotta run.
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Oh, goodness. Sorry, my thing fell out.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
You know what? I think it's time. Gonna do a bit of save scumming.
You're back before the cargo container. And as it's all... You're back before the cargo container. And as... You're back before the cargo container. And... You're back before the cargo container. Despite the dirt that surrounds and trails you, a beacon of light emerges from deep within you.
Hello? Is anybody in there?
The door stands silent.
Satisfied, detective?
Try again.
If there's someone in there, I'd like to talk to you.
Just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle. Some mechanism unlocks itself inside the door.
Ahoy! Come on in!
You can't be serious.
The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, and echo. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
What's going on here? What's going on in here?
Welcome, welcome. Not too much actually. Just pleasantly surprised to have company today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything. Voice doesn't escape from him.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
Who are you?
Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Theodore, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual. And you are?
Mr. Theodore, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
Harrier Dubois.
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well.
What are you doing in this container?
Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and it gives me lots of time to think. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
We're in Martinez, a district of Revachol, the former capital of the world.
Ah, Herschel. I remember walking its streets as a teenager. There used to be a bowling alley in Stella Maris. I wonder if it's still there. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money.
So you travel from place to place via shipping container?
Smart, you know? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to. Luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois.
Those things all sound pretty nice.
Don't get me wrong. They're nice things. But once you achieve a certain level of wealth, your time and mental space become much more important than material goods.
He speaks from the heart. He has very different problems compared to low net worth individuals such as yourself. For example, no problems at all.
So you're saying being rich isn't worth the hassle?
What? No, I did not say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that.
How did you become so rich?
To be perfectly blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Grad. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy.
What's it like being an extremely high net worth individual?
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really.
You're a thief. People out there are working their asses off while you chill here.
And that's what? Unjust? I think it's perfectly just.
You're using your money as its own justification.
Listen, Mr. Dubois, I used to be an idealist just like you. But the truth is that we have no objective system by which to measure someone's value other than the market. We should just embrace that rather than resist it. The hand that allocates resources among men is invisible and cruel, but it is steady, measured, indeed, it is just. Capital makes one speechless, does it not? Blinds like the sun that rises from beyond the horizon after a gloomy winter.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
There's something strange about you.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know how to put it. You look somehow a little different.
Are you talking about my chin?
No, I mean, I can't even see you. It's as if something is happening to the light.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, it means one person possesses all the net worth. Among that group of individuals, it's been observed that when the Weiss-Weismann coefficient reaches about 0.96 or so, the laws of physics begin to bend around the high net worth individual.
So, what is our coefficient?
The Weiss-Weismann coefficient for you and this individual appears to be 0.9998, repeating. That's not good for you.
Are you telling me that you are so rich that light literally bends around your face?
Among other things. But calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire.
I'm calm.
That's good.
Tim, are you seeing this weird stuff?
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. My container.
You're a rich investor, right? Can I have some money?
I don't see how it's appropriate for a representative of the law to ask a wealthy person for money. This shines a bad light on the RCM, if you catch my meaning.
Come now. There is not even a cent of corruption here. I'm merely being polite. So, let me check my pockets. As you may know, us high net worth individuals do not have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of one another. I think I only have coins for coffee machines. Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this?
He gets me almost nothing.
That's the idea, my friend. You've got to work for the rest. Maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound?
These ultra-liberal types love losing huge sums of money on ludicrous proposals. Ergo, you should come up with a plan that's totally dead in the water.
Thanks for stopping.
I think those are all my conceptualization things.
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
Congratulations. You've somehow managed to fail at failing, which means, in a strange way, that you've succeeded.
You should invest in a youth center.
A youth center, huh? What kind of youth center?
A place to teach them practical skills, like teamwork and self-discipline. Come on, tell him what he wants to hear.
You know, a regular youth center. With baseball court, with basketball courts and stuff. To teach teamwork and other emotional skills.
No, no, no. You've got to think bigger than that.
One designed to instilling liberal economic values in children from low net worth families.
Brilliant. Without children, who'll be there to buy stuff in the future?
Yes, and if it doesn't work out, we can always repurpose the centre as a shopping mall or private equity firm.
When life closes a door, it opens a window, yes? What's the expected return on this?
A highly educated, work-ready human capital ready to be directed towards any number of your vast interests.
You're deep into ultra-liberal territory now. Good work.
Very impressive. You've got a natural eye for unusual investment opportunities.
Thank you.
I don't normally do this without a formal pitch deck, but to hell with it. What's the point of being rich if you have to follow all the rules? Here's the round of seed funding. This should be enough to prove out the concept and get things off the ground.
Bratan, now's your chance to take some time off. Spend it with your good buddy and get absolutely wrecked in the process.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm an investor now. I have to stay sober to calculate risks.
What is this shit? Calculating risks? Ratan! The risks you can't calculate are the only ones worth taking!
I'll give it some thought.
The lieutenant looks at you with horror. You've been mumbling to your necktie in a daze for several minutes.
Ah, yes. Now you're displaying it. The eccentricity that becomes a wealthy individual.
Thanks for the handout.
Remember, it's not a handout. It's an investment, and I expect to see returns.
The lieutenant stands there, dumbfounded. His mouth opens slightly, then closes again. Is he having a stroke?
Jim, are you having a stroke?
No, I'm not having a stroke. You're just still full of surprises. Most of them bad, but some good.
The lieutenant has granted you an aura of legitimacy. Bathe in it, but don't let your satisfaction show. Play it cool.
Now, was there anything else I could help you gentlemen with?
We should get back to our investigation. Thanks for your time.
The pleasure was mine. Unfortunately, I must be away soon. The next time we meet, I'll be expecting an update on my investment. Farewell, friend, and may your peace of mind guide you to happiness.
It's not a fishing rod, is it? It's...
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
It's done. I mailed the signatures you asked me to mail.
The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course, I already knew this. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Oh, Bratan, you play the old man like a three-string banjo. He has no idea.
Better not to gloat, sire. 'Tis arrogance that gives the play away. Be subtle.
Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done.
Fine. Where is it?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy?
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway...
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
Who is this old woman?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
She was waving it around at people.
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
Can you set up a meeting?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
That's it for now.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union. This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
Remember the container I asked you about? Turns out there's a mega-rich light-bending guy inside.
Mega-rich light-bending guy? Oh my god! How did that get in there?
He's so rich he can get in anywhere.
Damn it to hell, Harry! I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega-rich light-bending guys.
Tell him he was there.
There was a guy in the container, but he didn't bend any light. That was in the detective's head.
Honestly, guys, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbor, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect.
Yeah, for God's sake, you're a socialist.
You're right, Harry. I am a socialist. I'm going to catch the mega-rich guy inside the container and harvest his energy to power the harbor's fog lights. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Everett, I'm going to leave now, but we might talk again later. It really hurts to punch this armor. A sword wouldn't leave even a scratch. A bullet would bounce right off. Still, there must be some flaw in it that would allow you to stand your ground against this dangerous enemy technology. You just have to figure out what it is. Possibly by beating yourself while wearing it. Shooting yourself? Let's see. Ooh, we've had another Kofi. Kofi from Lady Marion's Ground. Long time no live stream, popping in with a good news Kofi. It's half term. I survived 8 weeks as a fully qualified teacher. I'm now teaching history, geography and archaeology and loving it. Finally enjoying my job. Hurrah. That is fantastic news. Congratulations. I'm so glad you're doing something that you love. And yeah, just congratulations. Sound of melting snow dripping off the roof. It's strange.
Boy, am I ever so grateful to you, officer. But I'm not the only one who wants to thank you.
I'll talk to her, man.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
I was just on my way while I was working the case.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie. Mexican origin. The pin is an antique. Quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull, with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
You never told me you've seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But, darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
That is a way bigger compliment than it sounds like. Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
What happened?
I looked up, and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I'd never seen anything like it. The reeds turned into a creature. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
We were on a date.
Our first, yes.
Its limbs were white.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own, into the mud, anywhere. There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Hey, Lena, I'd like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Could you just tell me about a couple of them?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This one turned into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
Okay, Kim, just one little cryptid. Promise.
He nods and assumes a waiting posture. Ooh, tough choice there.
Is this bird a cryptid?
No. It's the cryptid.
Wow. The cryptid?
Oh, yes.
Okay, what is this bird?
The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until
it was cited by renowned Gottwaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not all-knowing.
I need to hear about this sighting.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
Okay, and Uamrau is...
The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert. An ancient riverbed completely dried up.
What happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
He was following it.
Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist. Then the teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird.
Why?
The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
Hold on, how did he
The
survive to tell the
eight-eyed
tale?
Tetatorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
An 8-eyed, mind-controlling bird. Fuck yes.
Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
So that was the last anyone saw of it.
Sadly, yes, but there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know?
This has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else.
Of course, dear.
That's all for now, Mom.
I couldn't possibly shower thanks on you as enthusiastically as my wife has, but I am grateful for your assistance, officer.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
So, I checked all the traps.
Good. Okay.
And one of them was empty.
Completely empty?
Yes, there was nothing in the trap. No locusts, no phasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but...
The empty trap was the one at your campsite. Maybe this factors into it somehow.
I definitely left that one stocked.
Right from the campsite? Just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them.
Of course, more clever.
You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behoove you to tread lightly.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps. Make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
Are you sure you've exhausted all the alternative explanations?
Of course we have.
Wait, Morel. He may have a point. We have an obligation to rule out other hypotheses.
You're right, dear. It's a fair point. But what other explanation could there be? Pardon me. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently.
Unless I'd insulted morale?
Kuno care?
I want to buy the foul pants.
Here, pig. We're falling now. Performance buddies. Kuno can already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle. Pig's in Kuno's debt now. Money debt?
Money debt doesn't mean anything. He's just saying words. You're not in his debt.
Bruno, let's talk about your shack again.
The fuck do you want with it? Good call, pig. Kuno doesn't.
It's crawling with locusts in here.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows. Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you are on the way to solving the case. The missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well.
Yes, we need to tell Morel about this immediately.
Of course, I'll leave that to you. You seem to have a handle on the phasmid trap insect situation.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Kuno doesn't.
Hello. Lena and I were just discussing the design of the new trap.
I found the locusts in a nearby shack. A kid called Kuno's built a city of them.
What the devil is a Kuno? Why would he be making a city of bugs?
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
I'll talk to the little gremlin. Ask him to stop taking them.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know if the kids can stop hampering us. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs. Morel, it's been fun, really, but I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologize, Gary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this through.
He keeps the language unemotional, but it's in there. Disappointment.
I'll get going.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I know you took the locusts from the traps the cryptozoologists set up.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what?
So it wasn't the phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
Why steal locusts? Can you find some other pets?
They're not pets. Don't you know what locusts are? When they come out of the fucking sky. Fucking descendant shit. You stop. It's like they're night. Locusts are like this huge shadow.
Locusts coming down like a shadow. This must be the night city he mentioned when you asked him where he's been.
So that in there is Night City.
Yeah, Locust City. City of Rage. City of Lights.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort.
City of Rage sounds like a cool place.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're
an artist. Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno, Kuno.
Making art is a worthy calling. I'm something of an artist myself.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds. Don't let him, Kuno.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free. Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
But don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window. So that's what this is about.
That depends on the choices you make, young girl.
Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
I have to ask, what does the City of Locusts mean?
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck. Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame.
I need you to stop taking locusts from the traps. The cryptozoologists are trying to find something very important. Those locusts are bait.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno.
What's going to happen to the locusts?
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die.
Okay, now that that's settled, I better be off.
The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
The Insulindian phasmid.
He recognizes the name.
Wait, you know what the Insulindian phasmid is?
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking in each other's direction.
Eight-eyed Teraton tie. +1 Inland Empire. Octuple Vision. +1 Volition. Cryptid's Protection. A slender bolo tie held together by an antique clasp in the shape of a bird's skull. The skull features 8 cavities for eyes. It's disturbing, but you can't look away. Faln Modular Track Pants. +1 Savoir-Faire. Spacious crotch/liquid fit. +1 Physical Instrument. Performance Unlimited. Entry-level Faln Modular Track Pants, meant to get the urban athlete started down the Faln path. Labels say, hydrophobic 100%, Simon Tech, and Falmarova Lab, creating an air of pseudoscientific mystery around these pants. They feel rubbery and futuristic to the touch.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
The dark sarcophagus.
Yes, yes. How was it?
It was a charnel house of failed business enterprises, leeching life energy from this bookstore.
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us. But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Neha, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
No, Mum, I have felt her aura. She is not the one to blame for this curse.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
Before you say anything, ask yourself, is the woman really able to withstand the truth? The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire. You've come this far. You know how to end it. There is an entity behind the entity.
There is another entity, more malignant, pulling the strings in Martinez. Perhaps in my travels I will cross paths with it.
A third order presence, yes.
A great dark relief washes over her.
I've heard of these triactors. In certain occult literature, that's too dark to dwell on for too long, and definitely not in the presence of my daughter. I understand everything, sir. Thank you for your descending into the maelstrom. I will keep fort up here, strengthen the wards, do my best. And if you happen upon the third entity in your travels, may the Lord be with you.
Well, this has been absolutely educational. If we happen on the third presence in our travels, we will certainly come back to tell you.
Yes, the venture continues. In other waters, darker waters.
Should we get out of here before the vortex collapses?
Farewell for now, book peddler.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Alyssa, I need you to connect me to Speed Freaks FM.
Come again, officer?
I said, Speed Freaks FM, a radio station. It's for the case.
Okay, officer. One moment.
Excited, Kim?
No,
I have the GMS on the line. I'll connect you now.
Yo!
Hello, is this DJ Mesh?
It is. I got a few minutes before I gotta go back on air. What can I do for you, cop man?
I'm just calling to confirm, did you debut a new track from DJ Flatio a few days ago?
An asshole is a mouth of shit. And I'm puking.
Okay, but what is the song called?
Yeah, that is the song. An asshole is a mouth of shit. And I'm puking.
Do people like it?
They're loving it, man. The requests keep coming in for more. I really think it's the future of music I do. Fucking, like, stinkcore or something. Shit's so nasty. Those stink waves come up like sound waves, you know what I mean?
Sure, man. I'm young, cool, and with it.
Very cool, man. I'm dead serious when I say Fellatio's gonna make it big in this world.
Okay, let's move on. We talked to some kids who said they heard it in their heads. Do you know how that could be possible?
Is that what this is about? Listen, it's not our problem if kids decide to tune into River Shaw's hottest station.
It's not that they played it on a radio, they heard it in their heads. Do you know how that's possible?
I don't understand. Are you asking if we can, like, play our station into people's brains?
Sure, forced radio, can't tune out. You'd make it... no, yeah, like that. Maybe it was part of your civic duty. You were just testing it out for the government.
We ain't testing anything out for the man, unless it's how many bricks you need to break all his windows. That wasn't a threat, by the way. Just a figure of speech. I'm a spoken word guy. Now, is there anything else you needed?
Just one more thing. Give a shout out to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. He coincidentally has you saved on his radio.
Huh?
Okay, cop man. Can do, will do. DJ Mesh, out.
The party has terminated the call. Is there anything else I can do for you, officer?
Spoke to the wildest cop in Rivershaw. He asked us to give his buddy cop, longtime listener Kim Kitsuragi, a big shout out. Kim, we love you.
Keep it freaky, like DJ Mesh, DJ Flatio, and your wild friend. This one's for you.
If, when a motor carriage's engine was ignited, it could drive by its own accord off to a high mountain, and there write a song, perhaps it'll be something like what you're hearing now.
We aren't discussing this.
What a reserve of willpower. It's taken all he's got to not smile.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone?
I'm done with the radio for now.
57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a...
Okay, about that call, let's start from the top. There's no doubt that the twins heard Speed Freaks FM. I still don't know how without a radio, but they did.
Spooky shit. But what does it mean?
I don't know what it means.
I mean, a weird voice in my head said to talk to the kids. Maybe it's related.
I don't think the voices in your head are related to this, no.
It didn't sound like one of my thoughts. Sounded like a lady.
The lieutenant gives you a long look.
I don't know what to say to that, or what you want me to say. I'm sorry. Did we ask where the kids were when they heard the voice?
I didn't. Sorry.
No need to apologize. I was just going to say it'd be a good idea to ask them. And, Detective, thanks for this. It's been interesting.
Right. We're about done in terms of time. I've had a couple more Kofis. One from Red Dead Zombie. Everett Claire's office always reminds me of Don Corneo's mansion from Final Fantasy VII. I always expect Harry to put his boot on the desk and start threatening Everett. Also, the bazoot 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 noise you made is now our favourite sound. Chat is a big fan of the bazoot noise. I don't actually remember what I did. I think I was just trying to do the bazoot 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 because I was trying to do the the song, but it was written out as bazoot, so I had to, one does one's best. Kofi, chat's requested bazoot 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 as a raid phrase. Absolutely, you get that. Kofi from Tempest Montgomery. Johnny, hello. Happy Friday. Wanted to say congrats on the pristine cut. A bunch of friends and I caught the live stream and played around last night. Won't go into spoilers, but incredible work on the Princess and the Dragon chapter. Thank you for your work and your stream. You're very welcome. And yeah, they've all come out really well. All credit to Tony for writing just absolute bangers. And Kofi from Lady Marion's Ground. Bonus Kofi, I just wanted to say how much I've enjoyed your streams. I'm sad they're ending, but very grateful to have been able to enjoy them. You and Sasha helped keep me going in lockdown when I was all alone. 106 days. I hope you keep up the Xmas stream tradition. Yeah, I think I probably will. I mean, I don't know if I'm not going to be holding myself to it quite so. I'm not going to be beating myself up if it's a few days early, but yeah, I would still like to read a ghost story on Christmas Eve, or closing on Christmas Eve. Anyway, thank you all for joining me for this most disco of Elysiums. So we are going to raid our good friend Finn, who I assume is playing Fallout. That's what she's normally playing, but and yes, the raid phrase will be zoop 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 zoop. Oh, Caravan Sandwich. Yes, that's what she was playing last time. A cool indie game about being a witch in a camper van, as far as I recall. Oh no, that's not. Have I raid Finda? So. Yes, marvellous. All right, well, thank you very much for joining me. And as we say at the end of every stream, zoop, 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 zoop. Bye.